there's this thing where there's a problem with art and with filmmaking and with acting and with it, and the problem with it is that it's cool and it's perceived as cool, and that's a problem.
This is Van Neistat, the brother of the YouTube pioneer Casey Neistat. Casey and Van had a HBO show named the Neistat Brothers.
My brother and I used our lives as a backdrop for a TV show, but it wasn't so daily, it wasn't so episodic. Instead, we kind of plucked interestingness out of our lives, shared that interestingness as tiny little stories, strung those stories together, and called that a TV show episode.
See, long story short, the season 2 of the show wasn't accepted by HBO, which led to the creative separation of Casey and Van, and which led to Casey coming to YouTube. Rest is history. I won't lie, just after watching a few videos of Casey, I thought, damn, this is so cool. It's just both him and his videos and the process of making his videos, which a lot of times intertwined with the video itself.
The first ever that I edited video on
was something else. The idea of moving through the streets of New York on a boosted board, self-recording while talking to a camera, is really hard to resist. 3 years ago, Van Neistat made his YouTube debut. I was introduced to Van's work by Casey himself, of course, and also Colin and Samir, this particular interview.
Give them, why share it?
Yeah, that's a great one. That's a great question. So a couple things. You have a whole generation of kids who are fascinated by the analog world because they haven't had access to it because it's all been digital and virtual.
So I started watching his videos and I was hooked. I don't think I had watched anything that was even remotely close to this on YouTube. It's like every video was this very specifically and meticulously carved sculpture. And after watching a few of it, you feel like the way you always feel in YouTube, that you understand it now. I get it now. I know exactly what's going to happen in this video. You don't. But the aspect that makes it most inspiring for me is volume and consistency.
And then this week, my question to you, what the hell should I make?
See, it's not like I haven't seen any good stuff on YouTube, but it's mostly 2 or 3 videos. After a few of the initial ones, the person runs out of ideas and starts reprocessing the same old stuff again and again. Or they just stop uploading, or the volume makes you understand it wasn't that great in the first place. None of which is true for Mr. Van. By the way, if we are talking about the idea of volume and consistency on YouTube, Casey uploaded a vlog every single day for 2 years straight. And that was the time when he became this big phenom of YouTube. YouTube is quite good. I'll be lying if I say it otherwise. The production quality has improved massively through years. There are different genres and different lengths and types of videos, but most of it follow a certain unsaid rule. There's a certain way everybody's thumbnails look. There's a certain way most of them talk.
Next 50 hours alone in solitary.
The world's biggest gun, and I'm
The production can be high, but the substance is usually simple.
$300 million. 250 cheapest private island. $1 vacation. A $1 million. Starting with this $1 car.
So no wonder that YouTube is filled with Mr. Beast copycats. And almost all of the Indian YouTube roast channels are a copy of a copy of a copy of a copy of a copy. And I despise them. They saw this one person getting fame, attention, success, money, and they understood the roadmap and they started doing this. They're merely trying to replicate this other person on YouTube because they want what they have. But how am I different? I started making videos or movies after taking inspiration from the Neistat Brothers. I want to replicate Mr. Van Neistat. I want to replicate Mr. Van Neistat's Patreon. I want his typewriter. I don't even know how to use a typewriter. So then I do this because I find it cool. Just because you did a handstand in a party to amuse your drunk friends, that doesn't mean that was the only reason the handstand was learned to accomplish. Just because you quoted Marcus Aurelius at the perfect time in a conversation and got this, intellectual nod of assurance from your date, doesn't mean while reading the quote that was all that was going in your mind. So, to answer the question, of course, I need this thing to work out. And a part of this thing working out will bring some kind of attention and success, which will definitely feel good. But artists usually hope that their art conveys something. They hope for their art to convey something. They rarely fixate on the success or overanalyze the success and fame part of or whatever you want to call it. So, what do I hope for when I what do I hope for myself when I'm making these videos? Have you ever been lost in a daydream after you just got done watching a singing show or a song cover in a professional or an ambiguous space? Like you daydream about what you will sing or how will you sing it, or I'll ये part मैं ऐसे बोल मतलब ऐसे गाऊंगा, ये part मैं ऐसे गाऊंगा, ये part मैं ऐसे करूंगा, and you're thinking even about the reactions कि the reactions you'll get from people who are around you, and the reaction is not on you, it's not about you, it's about the reaction, and everything is about this melody you're able to create through your vocal cords. Your daydream gives you this satisfaction of, creating this beautiful, heart aching melody through your vocal cords for a fraction of time. So, yeah, that's what I hope for uh, when I'm, hope for myself when I'm making these videos. That one day, while I'm editing the video, I feel like, damn, I made this. This came through me. This is so cool.